Voy a verlo si no es muy largo, ¿vale? Porque si eso le podemos echar un vistazo. Episodio 1. Descubre nuestro plan familiar. No, gracias. 9 minutos, ¿vale? Podemos verlo. O sea, no llega a 10 minutos. Podemos verlo. Podemos verlo, si os parece bien. A ver.
I'm Jeremy Seewer and I'm ready.
Esperaros. Español. Vale.
Racing for Monster Energy Yamaha MXGP Team.
Seewer es que ha tenido un comienzo de temporada malísimo, tío. Ha tenido muy mala suerte, Es un pilotazo, pero ha tenido mala suerte en un comienzo de temporada.
This is the memory ball which stopped in
Esto es su casa, ¿no? La casa familiar, había dicho.
2008-19, so I need to update it, but there's no more space. I got into motocross when I was like 6 years old, together with my dad, because he was a racer, so I grew up going at races as a small kid. And yeah, living here, you know, we have a small track in the backyard, that's where I started riding, and I think, yeah, my family gave me that passion, you know, even though in the beginning I didn't push myself for it. I was like kind of scared, like, ooh, bikes, that's dangerous, you know, but once I was on it, you know, I just, the passion started to be there and I started to enjoy it a lot. Sita is cool, you know, she's like the guard here. You are lucky you got in here, like alive, you know. So, I mean, my helmets, some of them, also some of the early years from the top.
Me encantan las casas así con los techos. Me ha parecido ver que es hacia guardillado, ¿no? Me encantan, tío. Me encantan.
My first ever like custom painted helmet when I was still on 85. I remember I was like the happiest kid ever having a custom painted helmet. That was so sick, you know. Yeah, and last Christmas, you know, some of my friends just got that for me. They showed up with like a big blanket. I'm like, what is that? And then they blanket off. I was impressed, like super, yeah, cool idea, you know. So now I'm not here often, so like if somebody misses me, like, you know, this they can get a hug of him, you know. Yeah, my parents, you know, they are a big, you know, part of the team, let's say. Sure, in this sport, you kind of grow up needing them. Like there is no way I would be sitting here now without my parents. I mean, they need to sacrifice so much to bring you there and to help you, bring you to the races, then the bikes and everything around, you know. By now, luckily, they are just at the race to support me in a mental kind of way, just to have my back, you know. Actually, they don't really have anything to do. For them, it's more kind of a holiday weekend, but they are just there, and I know in my head they are there in the background, and it's my family, you know. If I need anything, I can relate to them, and that gives you a little bit of, you know, safety, let's say.
Es una casa de campo, ¿no? Este tiene burro y todo.
Yeah.
Cabra.
She's the boss, Shanti. She runs the crew here. Ooh. Honestly, they are from my family, you know. When I grew up as a kid, they were always here, you know. Like that's how I grew up, always having donkeys in the backyard and stuff. So it's just, you know, I'm a big friend of animals, you know, dogs, whatever. We always used to have a cat also and stuff like that, so I just grow up with it, and they're actually super smart, especially the donkeys. I mean, the goats not so much, but the donkeys are super smart animals, and it's, yeah, growing up like that, you know, is like, I think I couldn't ask for a better childhood. Here you go. Yeah, when I was a kid, I did a lot of cycling. It's quite close to motocross, but I did a lot of cycling, because always when I came home from school, I just took my bicycle and I went in the forest, in the woods with my friends, started to build some jumps and all these kind of things. But still, you know, my parents, that's what they showed to me very young. Okay, they showed me the passion for motocross, but they always taught me, keep your eyes open also for other things, and don't be focused too much on one thing. Okay, this used to be the workshop for the bikes, actually, like when I was racing amateur races and stuff like this, till I became a factory rider. That's where, like, yeah, my
Esto era su garaje, le he dicho, hasta que se convirtió en piloto oficial.
Dad prepared the bikes, or
Donde
even
preparaba la moto
myself
con,
a lot,
con
like
su padre
changing
y tal.
engines, you know, everything. Now it changed a little bit, so there's some machinery in it now to, yeah, work on other stuff, you know. And that's actually my base of my apprenticeship, was this kind of stuff. So I learned how to use this. I learned how to use this because what came to this is like we do a lot of practice starts and practice tracks. Nobody has like proper gates to do it. So I got annoyed. I was like, yeah, but everybody says start is the most important thing on a race, and we can't even practice proper. Like nobody has a proper practice gate. So I got sick for 2-3 weeks and had nothing to do. So I started to take a pencil and draw, like, okay, I'm gonna make my own gate. It's gonna be light, it's gonna be out of aluminium, it's gonna be this. And together with my father, that's the end product, you know, and that's where the welding came from. Then I was like, yeah, but we need to be able to weld aluminium. Okay, so I need to buy a weld machine which is able to weld aluminium, and then teach myself and yeah, get all together, and that's the end product. And the fun thing, I started using it, and all the other teams, factory teams, they were like, hey, can I buy this of you? Can I buy this of you? So actually we started to sell a lot of them to all the other factory teams.
Lo hacían él y su padre, y como cuando lo vieron los demás equipos, que oye, que te lo queremos comprar, te lo compráis, y vendieron un montón.
It's like, yeah, okay, sure, you know, no problem. So that's the story behind this, and this is all, yeah, made in here, you know. When I was young, I always looked up to Ricky Carmichael, you know, because I was that little kid on a Suzuki, and yeah, he raced Suzuki back then, and like I said, seeing the magazines, this was like, wow, Ricky Carmichael is the guy. He was little like me, you know, so still now, you know, when I see what he did in his career, I'm like, hats off, you know, cool guy. But now, you know, being in that position, I mean, I'm a really, like a role model, difficult to say, but now people like Roger Federer are quite inspiring for me. Like, you know, the way how he is, the success he had, the person he is, you know, is like, wow, this is like the type of guy I look up to now, you know. Or right now there is like a young, actually, famous Swiss skier, and yeah, he's like better than anyone. He beats everybody like by far at the minute, but he stays so much with his feet on the ground, normal guy, you know, very accessible. So this is the things I look up to now, being on the level I am, you know. In the winter, in the summer, it's not here. This is where
Porsche.
Lives, you know.
Anuncio. Por la silueta nos ha dado la sensación de que era como un Porsche, así más bien tirando antiguo. A ver. Wow. Azul pitufo, ¿no?
Yeah, she's nice. I never thought about buying a Porsche, right? I'm like, yeah, I'm not that guy, you know, when I'm a bit older maybe. So I have one big fan living actually close to where the race is this weekend, and he went like, hey, you know, I'm a fan of you, I have a big Porsche collection, like, can you come and see it once? I said, yeah, I'm gonna come one day. So I went there one day. Yeah, he showed me his collection, and I was like, wow, cool. And then he showed me this car, and he's like, yeah, you know, I'm selling all the cars, and this is like one of my favorite ones, and people want to buy it and stuff, but I won't sell it. I would only sell it to you because I'm a big fan of yours. And I'm like, yeah, come on, I don't want to buy it. I went back home, you know. A few weeks later, like, he called, hey, but I meant it. Like, if you want this car, I would sell it to you for a really, you know, good price and stuff. Then I started to think and stuff, and yeah, here it is. You
Se
know,
lió,
like,
a ver, te lo dijo, te lo vendría a ti nada más, lo lió. Lo he dicho, yo viendo la silueta, digo, tiene pinta de coche clásico, digamos. Ojo las caravanas que se ven aquí.
Yeah,
mira,
home GP is different because now today I drove to the track. I passed, you know, where the GP used to be. You see it from the highway, and I got goosebumps. You know, like all those memories come up, and the body is like, "Who we gotta have a home GP." So your excitement level is already up. It gives me energy to have the fans like or wanting me to do well. You know, like sure. I know they want to see me win, or they really expect something good for me. But for me, this is absolutely no pressure. It's more like it makes me happy, fly. You know, it's like as a kid you dream about going to a home GP, racing for your fans, and being in a situation able to win even. So this actually gives me a lot of energy, like no pressure at all.
Ah, está guay. Ah, está guay. Le doy un 3. Un 3. Ah, está guapo, está guapo. Ah, está guapo.